I'm Liz Mancini with Canadian HR Reporter TV. I recently sat down with Brenda Marshall, founder of the Solacium Group, to talk about how to deal with grief in the workplace.
You have someone who's grieving, they're coming back to a team, and how do you prepare that team to be helpful? And part of that is doing some type of education with the team around what is grief, what does it look like, how can I be helpful, what should I expect, and also how are they feeling? Because so many people will say to me, you know, I don't know what I'm going to say, or I'm afraid I'm going to make it worse, or I'm afraid I might cry. So these are all the things that someone's team is worrying about. And so if you can do something to help prepare that team so that they understand a little bit about what's going on, that can be enormously helpful. We think of accommodate in a legal context, and I want to take that and say there's accommodations which companies do so well around offering some flexibility and trying to make it more appealing for someone to come back to work. But there are things you can do like sitting and talking to someone and asking them, okay, tell me what's working well in your job, what's not working well. Can you do something where, you know, you can offer to an employee, would you like someone to walk in with you on the first day? So that they're not walking into a lobby and someone coming across and saying, oh, I haven't seen you for a week, have you been on vacation? And then they're instantly forced into a really tough conversation. Often what happens is if you have a senior leader who's grieving, you'll find that people start to go to their executive assistant, for example, and say, do you think this is a good day to talk to John about this particular issue? And now your executive assistant is making a decision about a business issue. And so rather than the employee going in and saying, you know, John, can we talk about this? Is this okay? They now sidebar that person. And so it creates a pressure on the executive assistant, who now becomes a junior psychologist who's trying to make decisions. And it also means that business is proceeding and they may not be getting the executive level support that they need because they're afraid to ask. So my advice is to go and ask the person how they're doing. Is this a good day to talk about this? And to not go around them. An individual who's grieving is part of a unit, a team, a system, and they may have various individuals they're quite close to. To the extent that as an HR professional you can be aware of who their support network is and support those people and ask them how they're doing, because they may be listening to very difficult conversations every day and it could be taking a toll on them. And if all they need is someone to say, how are you doing? They have a chance to talk, and that can simply be enough to help someone to continue offering support. So it's support the supporters so they can continue doing what they do. Everybody's journey is very individual. There are a whole host of different expressions of grief that you see, and to the extent that people can, as a colleague has said to me, listen without trying to solve. Listen without trying to solve, that is immeasurable for someone.